First trip to Los Angeles was in 1995.
What prompted that?
Lowe and Grimm and a couple of the other homies were out here working with Davina, who was an R&B artist from Detroit on Loud Records. She had a 12-inch with Raekwon on it. And they were out here working on their shit. Davina was working on some new shit. And yeah, came out here for what was supposed to be a couple days. Spent all my money record shopping within like the first 3 hours. It was a bunch of spots on Melrose at that time, like 4 or 5 record stores. I couldn't tell you any of the names of any of that shit. But yeah, spent all my money on records. Had to get a job. I was out here for like 2 weeks. Had a job at like a used jean store. They just wanted me to... The one rule was like...
Used denim? How the fuck do you even manage that?
They just wanted... And the goal... My job was to make Asian people come in the store. Asian tourists.
No way.
That was my job.
Because
they spent all the money.
Oh.
Supposedly.
On used denim.
Yep.
They'll buy some pseudo salvage.
What do they call it? Vintage?
Salvage, yeah.
So yeah, that was really dope. Had some good times. Second time after that was when Dilla was in the funeral. Jesus. Edit. That was horrible. When Dilla was in the hospital at Cedars-Sinai, and I came out here and chilled with him for like a week. And the reason I ended up moving out here was Wajid had actually asked me to, not asked me, but he was in the midst of talking me into moving to New York. You know, just get me out the city, get me someplace new. And I went out to New York for the Donuts release party that he was DJing at Joe's Pub, and it was just a great night. Dilla shit all night, you know, partying, fucking drinking and shit. And, you know, Jay passed the next day, and, you know, you go from that high to that low. Me and Big Tone went to Fat Beats to cop the vinyl the next day. And,
This is the Shining record?
No, this is Donuts.
Oh, I'm sorry, Donuts.
So, get to Fat Beats, cop the vinyl, hang out for a minute, and walk down the steps. And as soon as my foot hit the concrete, it was Wajid on the phone, and he was like, he's gone. And I wasn't, you know, it didn't click. And I hesitated. And I was like, what you mean? Like, what you talking about? And his whole shit just got ultra urgent, serious as hell. And he was like, he's gone, Shoes. And it clicked. And, like, me and Tone sat on that curb in front of Fat Beats and cried like babies for probably about the better part of an hour. And, you know, I had a manager at the time. Well, not really a manager, but a booking agent at the time who did, like, you know, tour management for some major label cats. So had a lot of extra miles, you know, and she cashed her miles in and got me a ticket to go to L.A. for the funeral. And the night of the funeral, Tarak was DJing at Little Temple, and he asked me to come out. You know, it was a very somber night, and we was just getting hammered, just drinking mad Hennessy. And I remember just walking up to the DJ and telling him, you know, Jay wants me to play some shit. And I took one more double shot of Hennessy, and I don't remember nothing after that. There was a lot of family in the house from the crib, from the D. And, like, the next day, they was like, we ain't never seen you rock like that. Like I said, it was just crazy. And Wajid said, like, after that seed you planted last night, like, you put the smash down. Like, you might want to think about coming out here. And went back to the crib, and a few months later, Proof got killed, and I was like, I just got to get the fuck out of here. I had kind of glass ceiling, kind of done everything I could do back home, and just needed to get out and get some new stimulus, get a new start somewhere. And yeah, moved out here in July 6th of 2006.
Where'd you first move to when you came out here, man?
I lived on Barham off the 101 freeway. Studio City, Universal City, whatever you want to call it. Had an apartment with my boy Jordan, Roxwell, his producer. He was Snowman at the time.
Snowman Jack.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we had some real good times over there. 15-minute beat battles and shit. You get like 1 record or 2 records on the MP, and be me, him, Tarak, and someone else just over there just trying to put the dope shit together real fast. Just good. Eating a lot of pizza from Milano's. Good ass pizza. At any given time, there'd be like 12 pizza boxes on the counter. My boy Tank. I flew out here first class, me and Smokey, and my boy Tank drove all my shit in a U-Haul. All my records, I had like 10,000 records, and he drove them all the way out here in a U-Haul with no license.
Just out of love.
No driver's license.
Out of love.
Some real Detroit shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was my man.
So the truck could have been confiscated and...
Well, he got pulled over. He got pulled over in like Omaha, Nebraska or some shit.
And what, did you give him some kind of ill story that...
Well,
salvaged?
He didn't have a license. But he's, he ain't a dirty... He don't fucking smoke, drink, like none of that shit. He's A1. He's clean. He works for a judge back home, like helping him do like shit with like kids and shit. So I don't know if they called the judge or whatever. He didn't get fucking... They didn't snatch him. They didn't take him in. But they did. They were like, we got to search this whole shit, though. So they took every box of records. They were like, pull over to this little park, this little field over here, and it's like fucking like 7 squad cars. And they unloaded the whole fucking truck. Like 100 boxes of records. Probably more than that. Took the fucking floorboards up from the back, looking under the wheel wells, looking under the hood.
Oh, they thought he was moving weight.
Didn't find nothing. And the difference between Omaha, Nebraska, and Detroit, and most areas in Los Angeles is after they didn't find shit, a motherfucking Omaha, Nebraska police repacked and loaded the whole fucking U-Haul truck. It was like, have a nice day.
And now you got a sweet spot in your heart for Nebraska?
Nah, but I appreciate it. Yeah, if that was Detroit, have a nice day. Pack that shit. Your fucking self.
Or let me get this Bobby Hutchinson.
right. Let me get that Montara real quick. Funny as hell.
When you kind of came to, so you came to LA for kind of a change of pace and a different energy. Did you kind of?
Yeah, I had been playing. I didn't travel outside of Detroit to DJ until fucking like a few months before I moved out here because I never gave a fuck. I was like, I got a city to take care of. You know what I'm saying? That's my priority. We got our own spots. I wasn't really concerned with going to New York, L.A. or Chicago or any of that shit. I went to Cleveland. Cleveland was the first place that I ever DJed outside of Detroit. This cat, Bradley P, brought me out there. And the first place that the venue that I actually DJed outside of Detroit for the first time was J1 and like Mug Push and all of them. It's like their old stomping ground, the B-side. It's crazy. I just connected the dots on that a few months ago. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's kind of ill. But yeah.
I guess getting back to the move to LA, like, did you kind of feel that? Because you said you're living with Jordan, kind of having beat battles and hanging out to rock and whatnot. Like,
it was just bachelor shit.
But did you feel like that good kind of refresh button had been hit when you moved out here?
I couldn't stand it at first.
Really?
I couldn't stand